Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. I've got a variety of things I want to do today. The first thing that we're going to do is finish getting steel up and running. But before then, based on a recommendation, you may remember I was saying how I hated when I stand on a belt that it moves. And there's a mod called Arts Belt Immunity, which I downloaded. And it gives us this research to make belt immunity equipment, which is this little item that goes inside your power armor. It looks like it only takes one slot, which is nice. Unfortunately, it requires an electronic logic board, which I'm not going to be able to make for quite some time probably. So anyway, I'll go ahead and do the research so that I have it available, but I'm afraid I won't be able to use it for a while. Another good suggestion I got was, why not, what is this? Oh, that's going to the pole. Okay. It looked like this wire was going to this chest. Another good piece of advice that I got was, why not add another train car and put steel and copper and iron and stuff in there so that you don't have to go back to the base every time you need to handcraft something. And I think that's a very good idea. So let's work on that now. Now, why the heck did that just happen? Oh, I see. Because it switched to manual mode. When it switches to manual mode, it loses the signal that says what's already in the train. And that's probably how I've ended up accumulating so many power poles. Jeez. Shift E. There we go. I love that sorting function. Put that in there. I did add another. I added another RoboPort to my load here, my loadout, so that I can manage more bots. So I've got 30 bots now. I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep the batteries charged with 3 RoboPorts, because now I have fewer solar panels as well. But we'll see how it goes. All right, so I think I have a train car already somewhere. Yeah, here we go. We got the construction train wagon and the construction train robot wagon. I guess I'll use the robot wagon because that's bigger. And I think that's what this other one is. Yeah. I'm not going to put RoboPorts in it, though. Oh, would you stop? I'm just... Jesus. That's really, to me, that is a bug. I mean, if the train is at the station, I think it should be reading the contents of the train at the station, whether it's in automatic mode or not. That just really bugs me. Okay, I'm going to put requester chests here so that, actually, instead of that, let's just use an extender. Yeah, that's much cheaper. There we go. I'm going to use this to load fuel. So what I'll do is I'll tell it to, I'll request coal. I'll request coke. I'll request carbon. I'll request coke pellets. And I'll request crushed coal. And that way if any of that stuff is in the network, it'll get loaded in. I know that I have a lot of coal in the network. All right, where are my stack inserters? Here they are. So I'll put one there, and that way I'll get refueled when my train comes in for a landing. Okay. So then on this one, I think what I'll do is I'll just put some limiters here so that I don't have to use these fancy circuits that don't really work very well. So we'll do like 3 slots of copper. Yeah, 3 of iron. Let's do 3 steel. Let's do stone brick. And we'll do a couple stacks of circuits as well. We'll do 1 basic. We'll do 1 basic. And we'll do 1 regular one. Okay, and then I'll just limit this. All right, so let's make one of those big requester chests. Those are pretty cool. And also, I wonder if I can copy like that. No, doesn't work that way. Okay, so let's request all the same stuff. Copper plate, iron plate, steel plate, stone brick, and 3 kinds of circuits. All right, then that's going to be 600, 600, 600, 300, let's expand that. Make that 600 also. And then the others, 1 stack each. And this is why I use the big chest, just so I can get 2 inserters on the same chest. Okay, so I think that will help facilitate us getting things done in the field. What are these guys hanging around for? I think maybe they're waiting to be charged. So let's make a charging point. And we'll put that right there. That way there's another place for the bots to charge. How many does that one take? That one's got 4 charging points. There it says robot recharge rate 4 by 1.2. Okay, so that ought to help speed things up. All right, so let's go back over to the steel area and finish that up. Go ahead and pin that. So we're going to go to refining. So what I want to do is we need to get silicon ingots made, and then we'll be able to make steel, because we're using the recipe that calls for steel ingots and silicon ingots. Yeah, so we'll have to make steel ingots first, and then also silicon ingots, and then those will be mixed in the induction furnace to make the steel. And then I'm going to start working on some of the suggestions that I've been getting. I get lots of great suggestions from you all, pretty much every episode. So I'm writing them all down so I don't forget them. And I will do my best to implement those. So I had a little bit of time to play this morning. Not enough time to make an episode, but I had 30 minutes or so. So I used that time to put in copper plates over here. You may recall we just had a little belt here, but didn't put that in yet. So I've got copper plates being made. I also added 2 setups making iron plate. I'm not buffering these right now since I already have those plates elsewhere in the base. So then this is going to be the steel, and then this will be silicon plates. And then once I get those set up, I'm going to start to set up the train stations. So I'll add another rung to the ladder up here, probably just below this stereotype patch. And then I'll add a bunch of distribution stations, kind of like I have here. Now, when I added a fifth station, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I managed to put these two closer together than I did with the rest of my design. So I think I'm going to try to copy this because this is more compact. And I think if I do that, I should be able to fit, I might be able to fit 6 stations there if I get them in tightly enough. Okay, so this is where steel ingots will be made. All right, and the steel ingots we are making in the blast furnace Mark III. So I'm just going to get this centered here and bring it down to the same level as these others. That looks about right. Okay, and we're doing steel ingots, and that is going to require oxygen, which I will bring in from over here. Oh, and someone told me that I broke a pipe connection. Yep, this one right here. There we go. That was one of the suggestions. Thank you very much for that. Okay, I was just looking at my list here. I didn't have that on the list, but I'm glad I remembered. Where was I? Oh yeah, oxygen. Okay, and then we need iron ingots, which I was bringing up here, but I think I'll bring from the side instead to make it a bit more compact. And I will feed it in over here. Oh, okay. And we're also going to need fuel. So for that, I think we'll use this line of Coke here. I think that's Coke. Yeah. Since that is close by. There we go. All right. And we're making steel ingots. So we'll put a warehouse here, right in the middle. Now, when I say the middle, am I putting... Yeah, it's not going to exactly line up with the middle. So I guess the middle is going to be whatever I say it is. That looks about right. Okay, perfect. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, okay. I was going to say, aren't I supposed to be using steel? But that's going to be at the induction stage, that the silicon comes in at the induction stage. Okay, so I'm going to need the induction furnace and 6 casting machines. So in this case, I'll put the induction furnace here in the middle. All right. Yeah, and there's another recipe to make it with manganese, but I'm not making manganese now, and I don't know if I ever will. So we'll use this one. Now there's a recipe to make iron with silicon as well. Was it an iron ingot recipe? No, it must be the iron plates. Or no, the molten iron. Yeah, so there's one that you can mix silicon with iron ingot to get twice as much iron out. So, I mean, here you're basically converting silicon into iron. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. But I don't want to do that right now, at least, because I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have so much silicon available. I could be wrong about that, but I think that is going to be the case. All right, so I'll put that there. I might as well do red in. Okay, and then we just need the silicon coming in. So let's work on the silicon ingots. And those need carbon, silicon ore, and a blast furnace. And in this case, we'll use a Mark 1. Okay, and I need stone brick, so it's a good thing that I put some in my train. Okay, I guess I'll use a silo for the silicon too. Seems like it's going to be, yeah. Seems like it's going to be used in high quantities. Although I can't see myself filling up a warehouse with it, but all right, so I'm dealing with the off-centeredness on the left side. Okay, silicon ingots, carbon, ore, and fuel. So in this case, we'll use the carbon for the fuel. Oh, and I should put a limit on this. I'll just do, we'll do 2 rows. I'll do the same on this one. Okay. Am I already receiving carbon? Yes, I am. I have carbon right here. Because I was using it for something else as well. I don't remember what. But I'm sure it was something very useful and important. Okay, excellent. And where is my silicon ore? Is that it? I think it is. Silicon, yes. All right, so filter silicon ore. Let's see. Okay, this will do. And I don't even need any power over here. Okay. Excellent. All right, and now we're making molten steel. So let's set up the casting machines, which we can do like this. And then we just got to change the recipe. Okay. And again, I'm not going to buffer these right now because I don't need them on hand. All right, so let's get rid of all this and let's make, actually let's delete that. And then let's see what the ratios are for silicon plates. All right, so if we do 6 machines on the output as our standard setup, molten silicon from silicon ingots. All right, so we need 2 induction furnaces. So let's make 1, 2, and then I need some steel, which I happily have now. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then I can just copy that there while I take a sip of coffee. All right. All right, and then I need to change these. There we go. And we'll copy this here. So again, we're splitting a red in 2, so that's why we can use yellows on the output, because 2 yellows has the same throughput as 1 red. Okay, and now we're getting silicon plate. Nice. Things are starting to shape up here. And then there's plenty of room here for more. I'm sure we're going to need more than 3 more different metals. But yeah, I'm only about halfway across the space we have here, so I think we'll be able to fit in all the stuff that we need over here. Now this will split 50-50 between these 2 sides. I think when you have multiple loaders on the same container, it seems like they evenly distribute themselves. So hopefully that's the case. If we need to change that balance at any point, then I'm sure we can do that. I think that probably at some point we'll want to... Actually, let's just do this, because I think we're going to want to make... Yeah, this will double our crafting speed, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, because if we accumulate enough silicon ore, then I can use it to get more iron, and I think it's going to be used in some other stuff too. So we'll go ahead and put more than what we need just for this. Okay. Now, on the resource monitor, I changed the threshold. Normally the list is hidden, okay? But things will pop up from that hidden list by default when they drop below 10% remaining. I changed that threshold in the mod options to 25% because I want to have a little bit more advanced notice. So one thing that we can see is that our Givolite mine is starting to run out. I did move the drills around a bit just to maximize what I can get without acid, but we're not going to be able to get any more than this from this patch until we have hydrofluoric acid. So that's something that we'll have to work on. I did add that. I updated my to-do list. So steel and silicon is done. Next are going to be the plate output stations so that we can start taking plates to the main base. Salination plants is something that I was looking at. You know, we're using saline water in some places where we don't necessarily need the purified water that goes with it. And now that I have brass and aluminum, I can make these salination plants, which allow you to make saline directly from plain water without any other byproducts. So I want to make some upgrade there where needed. And then I want to upgrade the ore processing so that we're making crystals instead of just stopping at chunks. We need to figure out what to do with, well, eventually I want to do combo sorting where you can sort, you send into your sorting machine a combination of different ores along with catalysts, and that way you can pick and choose which ores you get. So for example, if we need to add more iron ore or we need more silicon, there are ways that you can get those pure ores from your sorting process by adding catalysts, but making the catalyst requires mineral sludge. I think this will give us something to do with our geodes as well. And then a washing plant so that we can make lime and limestone and that sort of thing in large quantities. Wastewater processing. Again, I'm clarifying a whole lot of wastewater over here, and want to find some more useful way to use it. And then that will likely lead us into making some of the acid that we need for the infinite mining. So that's kind of the game plan right now. If you all have some feedback or other advice or recommendations on that sequence, I would appreciate your input, because I'm kind of doing this for the first time here, so I could use the help. Okay, so let's start setting up some train stations for our lovely, lovely plates that we're making. So I'm going to switch to the dreaded manual mode. The dreaded and often not recommended manual driving of trains. Okay, so let's figure out a good place to put this. It would be nice to steer clear of this stereotype ore. I don't think I want to go above it because that's going to leave a whole lot of empty space. So I think we'll shoot to go just below it, which would mean that our junction would be right here between these two power poles. The ones just above where we're sitting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clear those stations. I think I also, do I need to clear the power poles too? I think I do, but let me check. No, I don't. Just the signals. Okay. And then I'm going to get this train up close, since this is the one that has the most robots. And those wonderful fusion reactors to power them. Okay, perfect. I wonder if this is going to be enough room. Well, it will be enough room, but we're not going to have room for very much else, that's for sure. Because what if I want to double up on some of these later? Oh, I shouldn't have cleared that. Let me do this real quick here. Just trying to get some measurements made here to see what kind of space I'm going to have. Okay, I guess we would have barely enough space if we did that. If I go up one more, then I think I'm going to start, yeah, then the tracks would end up going right through the middle of that patch. Now, that's not necessarily the end of the world. I mean, I've got another big one right here. Yeah, I think I'm going to give myself more space. Right, and that means that we'll build over top of that stereotype patch. Not a big deal. All right, so we'll put the junction here instead. But first I have to get rid of this one. And hopefully I don't tear up anything too important. It's a little messy to clean up. I guess I could have just picked up the whole thing and then put in a straight section afterwards. I'm going to have to do that anyway to get some of the signals back. And then get rid of those. Okay, and then I want to clear that out. And then we'll put the junction here. There we go. Okay, how did I end up on the wrong side of the tracks? All right, and then, do I have a longer one? No, I guess that's it. Then we just gotta extend this a bit. I really love this robot wagon. I prefer this to using Farl. I know a lot of people like to use Farl to lay rails. It's a mod, fully automated rail layer, which is abbreviated as FARL. But I can just never get it to work quite the way that I want it to. And it could just be that I'm not using it properly, but even when I feel like I've got it set up the right way, it just sometimes does funny things. Like it seems like the poles and the signals will get misaligned after a while, or it'll get the signals backwards on me, things like that. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I just have never had much success with it. I think for running like long straight sections of track, I think it's really good. But okay. Oh my God. Is this going to be a problem? This might be a problem. We do not want to have two junctions like that. I'm going to have to move this up one. Okay, I think I'm going to need to come back over here with the robot train. This is a little more than my bots can handle. Okay, so having done that, hopefully I can fit this other junction without interfering with anything else. Let's see how this works. Okay. Looks like the signals on the very end, I think, could be an issue. Like that one. That one there. I don't know. Let's lay this blueprint down again just to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. Okay, I think this is going to work. Let's bring this train over to help things out. Come on, guys, keep up. All these slow ones must be my personal bots. Just wait for them to come home. Yeah, and you can see my batteries are dead. So I might have to go back to 2 roboports. I pick up the deconstruction planner just so I can see what my roboport range is, just to make sure that I'm getting everything that needs to be built within range. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do now here is change this layout a bit. Okay, so this part can be like this. Okay, this is going north, so I want a chain signal right there, right? Yep. And a chain signal there. Get rid of these little pieces. Okay. Alright, that looks good. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to copy this curvy part. And we'll put that up there. No, it doesn't look as good that way, does it? I think we need a straight section. I think it's got to start. Yeah, I'm not sure which way. I guess that looks pretty good. It's hard to make curves parallel. All right, and then we need another signal there. Okay, and now I need to get the heck out of the way. Actually, if I had... Now, why can't it go up there? Because I'm blocking the track. All right, so I think if I pull forward a little bit... There. Now he can go around me. I'll wait for him to go. There we go. Oh, my bot's going to do something. Where are you going, friend? Oh, okay. Picking up a mining drill. Very nice. Okay, so we got that done. Now let's clear some trees. So we can lay in our stations. I could use the termite bots here, but then they're going to damage all the tracks and stuff. So that's why I'm collecting the wood instead. Anyway, we can always use the wood. It's not completely useless with Angels and Bobs like it is in vanilla. There's a set of mods that you may have heard about called Omnimatter. And it's a suite of mods, kind of like Angels and Bobs are. You know, there's several different modules, and they all perform different functions. And I played those along with AAI Industry. And I'm not sure which mod creates this, but there's an item in that set of mods called Vehicle Fuel. And again, I'm not sure if that comes from the Omnimatter pack or from AI Industries, but Vehicle Fuel, it allows you to make these, I think they're 10 megajoules, and they look like rocket fuel, like those little cylinders, but you can make them from wooden chests, from wooden power poles. You can make them from pretty much anything that can burn. And that's, for me, that's a great way to use up like excess wood and, you know, your old wooden chests and just all kinds of stuff that end up getting dumped into your base from various places. And you can turn it into something that's pretty useful. And so the vehicle fuel, obviously, I mean, you can use it to power steam engines or whatever you want with it, but its initial intended use, I think, was to fuel your vehicles. Good thing I was here to tell you that, right? Because with a name like Vehicle Fuel, how would you know? All right, so this will be the first station. Actually, let me get rid of all the belt stuff, because I don't think I want any of that attached to this. I just want this main thing here. And I'm going to put this over just past where this curve joins the rest of the track, which is right here in front of where I'm standing. And it can go right on it. Okay. And I'm going to remove that so that I can copy station 2, which is going to look something like this. Again, we'll get rid of the belts. And actually, I don't really need any of that stuff. Or do I? Yeah, I'll keep that station there just as a reference point. And I think the rest of this I can leave as is. All right, so this would go like this. All right, I'm going to have to remove that signal. So if I put that there, and then at this point, I think I can just start tiling these. Yeah, I can. So let's tile these down the line and see how many stations we're going to be able to fit in here. And this is where all the plates are going to go. Maybe I don't need to do so many. Okay, looks like that's about... I could fit this last one in here, if I don't mind messing with this a bit. I'll leave it like this for now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that's kind of what I was thinking we could do. And I think that will be more than enough. All right, so between now and the next episode, I'll work on getting the rest of this built. I'm going to have to go back for more items, I think. And then in the next episode, we'll start running plates up there and, and then start hitting the next items on the list. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Appreciate it as always, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.